Constantinople, the envy of the world in 1204, stood as the heart of the Byzantine Empire, its walls legendary, its churches and markets dazzling, its treasures unmatched. But outside those walls an unexpected threat gathered. Crusaders, supposed allies, now camped with their ships crowding the Golden Horn. The city's people watched in disbelief. Why would fellow Christians threaten their sacred home? The answer was greed and manipulation. Lured by Venetian ambition and the promise of riches, the Crusaders turned on Constantinople. The betrayal was swift. The mighty walls, thought unbreakable, were breached. Crusaders stormed in, not as pilgrims, but as conquerors. The defenders, shocked and outnumbered, fell. The city's dream, protected by God and the Virgin Mary, became a nightmare of blood and fire. The cries of battle echoed through once glorious boulevards. The Queen of Cities was on her knees, betrayed by those who should have been her protectors. The trust between East and West was shattered forever. The schism between churches was no longer just theology, it was now written in blood. The Fourth Crusade was never meant to attack Constantinople. Its goal reclaimed Jerusalem by first conquering Egypt. But the Crusaders, short on money, struck a deal with Venice's Doge Dandolo. To pay their debt, they sacked Zara, a Christian city, shocking the Pope. Then came Alexios Angelos, an exiled Byzantine prince. He promised the Crusaders riches and church unity if they restored him to the throne. The Crusaders agreed, shifting their target to Constantinople. The city's people saw Alexios as a puppet. The treasury was empty, promises went unpaid. Tensions exploded, fights, fires, and finally, Alexios' murder. With their ally dead and payment gone, the Crusaders seized their chance. They decided to take the city for themselves. The Crusades' holy mission was lost to ambition and greed. Constantinople's fate was sealed by broken promises. The stage was set for catastrophe. In April 1204, Constantinople fell. What followed was 3 days of horror. The Crusaders unleashed chaos, civilians slaughtered, homes looted, order destroyed. The Hagia Sophia, once the grandest church, was desecrated, treasures stolen, sacred spaces defiled. Ancient statues were melted for coin, libraries burned, and priceless knowledge lost forever. The city's wealth and wisdom vanished in a frenzy of greed. Survivors were left with ruins and trauma. The Crusaders carved up the empire, crowning their own emperor. But their rule was built on theft and blood. The wound between East and West would never heal. The sack was a brutal lesson, a holy cause twisted into unforgivable betrayal. Constantinople's spirit was broken but not destroyed. The fall of Constantinople didn't end Byzantium. Nobles, soldiers, and scholars fled, determined to keep their civilization alive. 3 successor states emerged, but the Empire of Nicaea became the heart of resistance. Led by the Lascaris dynasty, Nicaea rebuilt its army and government, united by the dream of returning home. Wars raged against Latins, Bulgarians, and rival Greeks. Nicaea played a careful game, growing stronger as others weakened. Decisive victories like at Pelagonia shattered Latin power in Greece. The dream of reclaiming Constantinople was no longer fantasy. Decades of struggle forged a new hope. The exiles' determination turned flicker into fire. The city's return was now within reach. Byzantium's spirit endured. Michael VIII Palaiologos, driven by ambition, led the final push to reclaim Constantinople. In 1261, a small Nicaean force slipped through a secret passage and retook the city almost by accident. The last Latin emperor fled, leaving his crown behind. Michael entered the city in triumph but found ruins and emptiness where splendor once reigned. The empire was reborn but diminished, its wealth gone, its people scattered. The Fourth Crusade's wound never fully healed. Byzantium survived, but only as a shadow of its former self. The schism between Catholic and Orthodox deepened, yet the Byzantines' resilience shone through. For 57 years in exile, they kept their faith and identity alive. Their story is a lesson: an empire's true strength is its people, not its gold. Even in ruin, hope endured.